Nation, we represent. All in.
And we're just little old Clemson.
Well, LSU fan came stuck his spike in my booty.
Roll Black, what? Fuck you!
Roll Tide! Roll, baby!
Oh, bitch.
Are you that stupid?
Yes, I am.
I'm not going to sugarcoat things. It's a fucking shit show.
Welcome into this impromptu edition of CSF Late Nights. We do not have the gnome, Jonathan. He's sleeping somewhere. I did send him a message. He didn't answer the phone. I did manage to wake up Super Dave. What's up, Super Dave?
What's going on, goddamn Batman?
Goddamn Batman. That's right. I should change my name to the goddamn Batman. I just wanted to come on for a minute tonight for a little bit here because this show, if you listen to this show, you can make yourself a smarter fan. You know, one of the catchphrases that I've had, oh, fuck off, Fuckstick. He says he's out until August. He shouldn't have been here in the first place. Hi, whoever that is over there on Facebook. Anyway, if you listen to this show, there were two of us, because I don't remember if the gnome did it or not. There were two of us that told you point blank, when Alabama can't hit the 3-point shot, they're not worth a fuck.
No inside.
Sorry. I hate to break that to you.
I think we should embellish a little on why there's an impromptu show. And it's because the entire sports world is rejoicing tonight because the universe is right again. And Rob and I just wanted to bask in that with everyone.
Exactly. You know, I feel like, there are times when I want to say I told you so, and then other times when I don't like saying it. But this is one of those times where it's like, you Bama fans thought, you know what? We're just sitting around and we kick the shit out of people, and we should kick the shit out of people in basketball. I didn't know we had a basketball team until the 1st of January this year, but by God, they have that Alabama logo on it. We should be dominating, right? That's how Alabama fans think.
It was amazing how many Alabama basketball geniuses were spawned overnight with the simple use of Google. People like me and you who've been watching basketball since we were, 5-10 years old, me growing up through like Michael Jordan's glory and all that stuff, who obviously know nothing about the sport 30, 40 years later, were absolutely schooled and educated by all of these basketball geniuses from the state of Alabama.
Yeah, they were all running their mouths, but here's the best part about this. And what's up, buddy? Whoever's over there. Oh, look, it's we know by the middle fingers who that is. That's our buddy Edwin Reeves. He's older than dirt, but he's here. We appreciate him. We just wanted to come on a minute, and I didn't mean to I hope I'm not keeping you up. You're an hour behind us up there. I'm the only one that's up late here. I think it's like 10:48 there up, isn't it? Are you at 11:48
Central Time?
Okay, well then I don't feel too bad because you're an hour behind me. But Alabama loses as the 2 seed to the 11 seed UCLA, and here are the stats that make the most sense. 3-point shots, they were held to 7 for 28 for 25%. Now, if you go back into the CSF late night archives, you can look it up there. And it just says when Alabama doesn't shoot the 3, they're not worth a fuck. But to make it even better, and I haven't given Dave this stat yet. Alabama lost the game by 10 points. They went 11 for 25 at the free throw line. Now, what does that tell you? For you new Alabama fans, this is what that tells you, okay? You are an undisciplined group of fucks. That's what that tells you. None of that shit had any. Going to the free throw line is basketball 101. The only thing you're doing is standing and shooting a free throw. Ladies and gentlemen, I am 41 years old. I will go to any gym in the country right now. Name a spot. Okay? I'll drink 2 beers and I'll hit 7 of 10 free throws right the fuck now. And I'm 5'9". Okay? not that fucking complicated. And you know why? Because I had a coach that was worth a shit when I was a kid that made sure that we all shot fucking free throws. When you go to the line and you shoot 11 for 25, you're not very well coached.
So you shot 25% from beyond the arc, and you shot less than 50% from the free throw line.
44% from the free throw line. But we're all supposed to believe, oh, Alabama's the absolute best in the absolute world. Yee.
We tried to told you that if you didn't have the 3-point shot dropping, that you didn't have an inside game. But did you want to listen to us? No.
No one wanted to hear that. No one wanted to hear that. No one wanted to hear that.
But you don't know the game of dribble.
We got to trademark that for people to start making shirts about it. By the way, a couple of other notes here. UCLA had more assists. They had more blocks. They had more steals. Nope, Alabama out-rebounded them by 4.
I'm surprised.
Yep. But here's the other interesting stat. UCLA, Alabama's a team that they want to turn you over. That's how they get in the run and gun ball where everybody gets layups and everything else like that. UCLA had 8 turnovers, 5 of them in the first half. So in the second half, they had 3 turnovers. All right, compared to Alabama's 14. So you almost double them up in turnovers. So I just wanted to, bring this out here and make sure that everybody understood that, and this is for the new Alabama fans, because I know that none of you really watched basketball until this year. None of you really did. And that's what we're going to bring to you here on CSF Late Nights. We're going to try to keep things that are honest here and try to keep your head out of the absolute clouds. It's not like Casey Kasem. Remember Casey Kasem? Keep your head in the clouds and keep your feet on the ground and your eyes in the stars, or whatever it was. Remember that? No. We want you to be a level-headed fan here. That's what we do for you here at CSF Late Nights. So, as real as we can get. Just saying.
So we try to keep it as factual as we can, and when we can't, we consult the Great Wizard of Oz with our other host for the answers that we can't provide.
Right. Our other host is one of the Munchkins, and he has the capability to take us down the yellow brick road and get us whatever it is we need. He can do that. So he's great with that.
And it's
but he's not here tonight. His ass is sleeping. So
it's only fitting that in our group we have Chucky Scarecrow.
Chucky Scarecrow. He does kind of look like a scarecrow, doesn't he?
Oh,
say that out loud?
You didn't think I pulled that out of nowhere, did you?
No, I didn't. I got to Photoshop his head on a scarecrow. He looked good on that dummy the other night. God damn, what's wrong with me? Anyway. We'll take some calls this evening if you'd like to talk about Alabama shitting the bed, because I should have named this episode the Alabama Shits the Bed, because that's what you did. And by the way, you had 2 wins in the tournament. Congratulations on that. Outstanding. And I know you Alabama fans are like, well, what did Clemson do? And what did LSU do? Well, I know when my team squared off with Alabama, you kicked that fucking ass. I know that. You fucking squared up with us and you lost. We're not a good basketball team. I know that. Just saying. But on the other hand, you did win 2 games, but let's look at who you beat. You beat Iona, which the majority of you don't even know what fucking state that's in. Let's just be honest.
I don't know what state that's in.
Exactly. We're being as honest as we can here. We're trying to be as truthful as we possibly can. And then the other team you beat Maryland, right? I think that's the other team they beat, right?
I don't know what state that's in either.
Here's the thing, though. You didn't beat anybody that's worth a fuck.
I will say this. It seems like the Pac-12 teams were grossly underseeded.
Jesus, that's fucking true. We got like I think we're going to eliminate one here because they're playing each other, but of the final 9 teams in the tournament, would you have 4 of them from the Pac-12 and none of them seeded higher than 6?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here with all that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oregon's a 7, USC's a 6.
UCLA's an 11.
Yeah, UCLA's an 11.
Oregon State's a 12.
A 12, yeah.
I mean, there's that too. Who says they want to be invited live? Who is that? I can't tell me who it is, and I'll send you a message. We can have somebody come on live with us tonight since the gnome's not here. We can have somebody come on live. Who is that? Tell me who it is, and I'll send you the link right now. That's how that. See, we're a show of the people. We don't mind having some folks here. Now, if it's Fuckstick, we're going to mock you, Fuckstick, because you were the one running your mouth talking about you're going to be a Final Four program.
Him and his boyfriend, Kenneth Compton.
Oh yeah. Oh, Charlie Rabin. Am I friends with Charlie Rabin? I think I am. Hold on. I got to see if I'm friends with you, Charlie. Charlie wants to come on and talk. Am I friends with there? Charlie. I'll send you the link right now, Charlie. There you go. There you go, Charlie. I just sent you the link, sir. I just sent Charlie the link, and we'll see if Charlie. I just sent it to your instant messenger on Facebook. We have somebody new to the show. Might be fun.
That will be fun.
He may come on here and call us dickheads, and that'll be fine too.
So I had 2 brackets that I picked. I did the one for the Callaways Challenge.
How's your bracket doing there?
I had Alabama going all the way to the Final Four, making their first Final Four in program history. And never have I mean, the other side of my bracket is completely busted. So I didn't really mind if the other side of my bracket busted out too, because who gives a shit at this point, right? So I got a lot of satisfaction that they didn't even make it to the Elite 8 this year, which is the furthest they've ever made it. And I think they've only made that once.
Well, if you want to, Charlie, I sent you a link. If you want to join live, just click the link, brother. That's as simple as that. There you go. You click the link, it'll let you on the show. So I'm a giving person.
It could seem like LSU, who everybody knows I support, is some basketball juggernaut, because we aren't. You got the best point guard that money can buy, sir. Apparently, we didn't spend enough because we didn't make it past the round of 32.
You should get a refund. Fuck that guy. Fuck Will Wade forever for that comment,
I just
man.
want to know what the budget is for next year's team. Can I? What are my expectations?
You need a better bag, man. By the way, when people start saying things about the show, I think of this.
Procedure.
You need this.
Around. You're serious this time. Take it easy. I'm in pre-law, man. Thought you're pre-med. What's the difference? Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be brief.
Can you hear that?
I think he's empty. The issue here is not whether we broke a few rules, took a few liberties with our female party guests. We did. But you can't hold a whole fraternity responsible for the behavior of a few sick, perverted individuals.
No.
Or if you do, then shouldn't we blame the whole fraternity system? And if the whole fraternity system is guilty, then isn't this an indictment of our educational institutions in general?
Exactly.
I put it to you, Greg. Isn't this an indictment of our entire American society? Well, you can do what you want to us. But we're not going to sit here and listen to you bad mouth the United States of America. Gentlemen.
I'm going to isolate that and that clip. We're not going to let you badmouth the United States of America. We're going to have that. We're not going to do that anymore. It's not going to happen.
Are people complaining about our content?
I hope not. I'm just saying. Anyway, sorry you couldn't get it to work through your phone. You can use the phone and call in, sir, at 803-470-2905 if you'd like to do that. So
if you're using an iPhone, you have to be updated to the latest version of iOS and Safari, because that is what I use.
Yeah.
Copy
anyway,
paste into your Safari.
It's just funny because we've had to hear a lot of shit about Alabama fans telling us, "Oh, well, we're a basketball school now," and you're really not. And this is with any school, by the way. Just because you have one run in the tournament doesn't mean you're a basketball school.
No,
doesn't mean shit.
No, LSU has made it to the Final Four, I think 5 or 6 times, and we are not a basketball school.
No, they're not a basketball school.
Has never made it to the Final Four ever.
Exactly.
Ever.
So,
unfortunately, we still have to hear about their baseball team. until that shakes itself out, and it will.
Oh, wait a minute! Didn't the Bama baseball team? How'd they do today?
I'm not sure how they did. LSU got swept by UT this weekend.
How does that happen?
Because we gave it up in extra innings for yesterday's game, which was delayed and then finished today, and then we gave up the second game in extra innings. So we dropped the final 2 games of the series in extra innings, both of them.
You got put out like a $2 whore.
Yeah. And people are already starting. Got to fire Paul Maneri because he's been the coach there for 16 years, and he's only won one college World Series, and he hasn't done dick since 2009. Got to move on.
Well, see, and as once again, I try to be real on this show. Clemson's not a baseball school. We did sweep Boston College, but fuck Boston College. There's about 800 people there. I want to look that up, and because I laugh about this. Hold on, I'm going to look this up online here. And when they do the, they don't normally put the attendance for these baseball games or whatever. So I want to look at some of these because these are hilarious to me. Let's see here. BC Eagles. I'm going to their website, and they generally have up top exactly how many people attend the games. So in the game on the 27th, you want to take a guess at how many people were at the Clemson-Boston College baseball game on the 27th. Just take a wild guess, sir.
450.
150 people, sir.
Wow.
I'm serious. It's like you look at stuff like this and you're like, you wonder why. And I've talked about this before. You wonder why baseball is not really like ACC baseball doesn't really match up when it comes time for when it's time to go to Omaha and stuff like that. Okay.
There is a program in the ACC that is worth a damn. And I was going to games when I was attending the University of Louisville, and they still have a program.
They do, but let's be honest. I mean, have they been to the College World Series? I don't know.
They've made it. I think back when they had Nick and those guys pitching for them, they were there because there was a year that I was hoping that the championship would come down to Louisville and LSU because they were both on their way to making it. And they both got knocked out. And because I remember when I went through the admissions for University of Louisville, and she asked me where I was from because I didn't sound like I was from there. I said, I'm from New Orleans. She goes, oh, well, are you an LSU fan? I said, well, yes, I am. And she said, what happens if LSU plays Louisville? I said, well, that would only happen in a championship type scenario or a bowl game, and I'll be wearing purple and gold. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, well, but it's interesting, though, and we talk about that, but generally, baseball in the ACC is not really good. You could make an argument that North Carolina's been pretty good.
Hadn't UNC been
pretty good? Florida State's been pretty good, and Clemson's pretty good. But after that, I mean, you got a bunch of schools that are playing baseball that truly aren't worth a shit. I mean,
nobody gives a shit about Syracuse baseball. Nobody gives a shit about Boston College baseball. Nobody gives a shit about.
So I have a guy that comes on my Fox Sports show, which, by the way, guys, check that out. So it's a pretty cool informational type show every day, 3 to 4.
A more professional format for those.
More professional. I don't say fuck a lot.
We don't say fuck at all.
There's no fucks at all in it. But no,
we don't allow goddamn.
Yeah, there's no goddamn. But no, there's there's somebody's on the phone. Let's answer the phone. Look at this. We generated a caller. Greetings, caller. Welcome in to CSF Late Nights.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Hello. How are you? Is this an Alabama fan calling us? Alabama, the line's open. Go ahead.
Good God, no.
What do you have for the show, ma'am?
I doubt Coach would call in, so I was going to call in and let you guys know that Chucky has already made a bet with Coach for next year's Sweet 16.
Oh
Get the
my
fuck
God.
out of here.
He's already lost his profile pic for a year. What's he betting now?
Yeah. Wait, what is Chucky betting now? What?
Well, and then they have the one with that Alabama will make it to the College World Series too.
Oh God. Fuckstick.
So-
I mean, I think you know what? But Fuckstick is one of those people. He just likes to inflict pain upon himself. That's what I'm really starting to believe
essentially,
that.
I think Coach is going to own his profile pic till the day he dies,
And that may be
or
true.
Chucky.
It's always
We don't
gonna
want
be
to
the
happen
same.
to him. But that may be true. You never know.
I asked him when he's going to throw in the cover pic too, and he says that's coming. He's just biding his time, but you know, Coach.
Coach is always welcome to come on the show, by the way, and do his thing. So yeah, he doesn't need an invite. Coach knows he's always welcome here. By the way, Coach is trying to get he's trying to get out of the land of shit, man. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that or not, but he's trying.
Moving home.
I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'm not supposed to say anything. I don't want Coach cussing me out in my direct message. You dumb fuck. I don't need that. So just disregard everything I said.
Yeah,
there.
I don't think the word is supposed to be out yet. But
No, well, I mean, what
Good job, Rob.
I'm saying he's moving away from a shithole. Maybe he's just moving away from an actual shithole. I didn't put out there too
Yeah.
much.
it's an entire state.
Well, I don't have to get into that.
The rest of us in the West
Smurfette, when are we
wishes
gonna get you to do live stream with us? When are you gonna? I mean, didn't you tell us one night you didn't want to put on a bra to do this show? Is that the only thing that's hindering you?
Exactly.
Your
So,
words, not mine, ma'am. Let's make sure that I'm not being a dirty birdie here. You just said I have to put a bra on if we're going to stream live. Come on.
Exactly. I'm
See that part of your body unless you.
exactly.
You're not gonna face. You're not gonna face the camera down like this.
Unless I can have it up at my forehead.
Yeah, just put it up on your forehead like this. Do you have anything else you'd like to talk about this evening? Because I got to talk about Georgia for a minute with a call I had on my podcast I did earlier.
Robin.
Did you see? I shredded some poor Georgia fan earlier. I felt bad about it because I'm trying to be a better person, but he was just so fucking.
He started getting real irritable, and then he toned himself down. He dialed it back a notch.
Well, he toned himself down when I handed him his ass on a plate. That's
Well,
what happened to that.
I just don't.
You are Perry Mason after all.
I am Perry Mason.
Kirby's
Yeah.
a fraud.
Did they hear that show?
For you because you said that. Blah blah blah.
Someone asked, "Where's the gnome?" I called the gnome. I sent the gnome a message. He did not
in
answer.
bed.
He's probably asleep. I don't know. I tried to get the gnome involved, but he gnomes need their sleep. I mean, he has to think about it this way. He's very tired in the evening. To get the same distance that we do, he has to walk 3 times as many steps. So, I mean,
True story.
his little feet have to paddle really hard. Jonathan's he's gonna punch me in the face one day. He's got to get a ladder, but he's definitely gonna punch me in the face one day. I'll give him the first shot. He won't be able to lean into it too
Ladder
much because he's
or
got to get that
a
ladder up
step
there.
stool?
But no, he needs a ladder. Fucking step stool. Shit. I'm not
true.
tall, but it's a ladder. Well, Smurfette, you're always welcome on the show, man. We appreciate you.
Well, I just wanted to let you know that he won't quit.
He
You
won't
got to give Chucky Fuckstick credit for that. He doesn't quit.
We're giving credit for being a dumb fuck. I don't want to do that. He's being a fucking idiot.
Are
Nobody
you
wants
that
to give him credit for that.
stupid? Yes, I am.
He certainly is. Everything that comes with that statement is absolutely true.
Immortalized in little
In late night history forever.
Yes.
You're
that
exactly
will
right
be
on that.
lore and exactly.
I've got that clip somewhere. I
Well,
need to open it back up.
Gentlemen, have a good evening, and we'll see you on the flip side.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
good evening.
All right, there you go.
Good night.
Good night, ma'am. That's of course Smurfette calling. She does support the wonderful Boise State team, which they're not that great, but she likes it.
But she's a pretty great fan.
She's a great fan. Let's see if this is the clip.
Listen, you insignificant, square-toed, pimple-headed spy.
That's not it. I just called it stupid. I apparently have several files that are just stupid. Let's see.
I always enjoy finding new ways to call somebody stupid.
Are you that stupid?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, there you go. I've got it. Oh, shout out to Dina online over there. Shout out to her dad too, who's battling some stuff. Her dad is actually a hero. Appreciate Dina. We can't be in the same county together in South Carolina. It's just not going to work. 803-470-2905. She is my spirit animal though, because we think alike. We absolutely think alike. Anyway, the Georgia fan earlier was outstanding. He called into my show earlier and said Georgia is going to beat Clemson by 21 points on September the 4th.
I heard that.
I am so confident that Clemson will not lose that game by 21 points. Okay, that I told him if Georgia wins by 21, I will do the next Rob and Kale show. We will start it with the Georgia fight song. We'll play it throughout, and I will rename the show that day the Clemson got the shit kicked out of them by Georgia. It's not happening. It's not happening.
Not by 21 points at least.
Look, every time Georgia plays somebody that's worth a fuck under Kirby Smart, they lose. The records show that.
True story.
Who the fuck do they beat that's absolutely great?
I don't understand why they are so up in arms to defend him. Like, do you realize the talent level you have and the record he has with that talent level? You just lost to South Carolina.
Well, that was 2 seasons ago, but yeah, you were a 20-point favorite at home and lost.
Right.
So
I said
just
lost, but
yeah,
lost
let's
to
slow down for a second. You had JT Daniels on your sideline there, and he was your 4-string quarterback. Now they'll say, well, he was hurt. Yeah, but here's the whole point behind that. With the talent that they have, and I did the math on it, the averages out to the number 2 ranked recruiting class over the past 5 years. So they have top level fucking talent at Georgia.
All over the place.
We're not even disputing that. But the reality is that Georgia consistently fails.
Underperforms. Do not. So when you're in the military, you have evaluations every year.
Mm-hmm.
And you can not meet the standard.
Right.
That's a category. Meets expectations, exceeds expectations, does not meet the standard is where Kirby Smart's at. Right.
Yeah, but this guy, I mean, this guy that called into the show, he's got a hard on for me. I mean, that's the only term that I can use. He calls on my Fox Sports show, and then he calls here tonight, and he's running his mouth to me the same thing. And he kept wanting me to say to him, what happened the last time the Clemson played Georgia? Well, Clemson lost by 24 points, and in that game, you had a different coach.
You had a different coach, and it was, 7 years ago?
It was 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And since that time, Clemson's won 2 national titles. And by the way, since the last time you won a national title, Clemson's got 3 national titles. So if we're talking about relevancy of programs, Clemson's a more elite program than Georgia is. I'm sorry. If that hurts feelings, in the past 40 years, Clemson has 3 national titles. Georgia has 1.
Yeah.
So stop with the bullshit. It's just ridiculous. And then have you ever noticed that they always want to run their mouths? They want to open those dick suckers about, that's a very derogatory term, but they open up those dicks because that's what they are. They open up those dick suckers about, hey, Kirby Smart coach circles around Dabo Swinney. Can he? Can he really?
What?
I've heard Georgia fans tell me that. Heard Georgia fans tell me that.
Under Kirby Smart would indicate to you that he could outcoach Nick Saban, Dabo Swinney, or any other coach worth a shit.
He has the win in the playoff where they went to over whoever it was, where they ended up going to was it Oklahoma? They beat Oklahoma in the one playoff game.
Well, that's the
that
thing.
to me is their biggest win ever.
He beats Oklahoma. everybody.
When it comes to January, they do.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Oklahoma's
saying.
got
In the CFP,
Oklahoma's a pink
and
cock in January, man. That's what Oklahoma is. But no, it just bugs the shit out of me. It's like, and anytime you say anything negative about Kirby Smart, if I'm a Georgia fan, and I mean this, if we have the number 2 ranked recruiting class for 5 years in a row on average, and our coach can't beat fucking loses at home as a 20-point favorite over South Carolina, runs off Justin Fields. Yeah, you can call in, brother. There's the number right there, man. 803-470-2905. You're always welcome to call in, sir. Anyway, yeah, you run off Justin Fields, and in addition to that, you decided that Jake Fromm was better than Justin Fields. And the debacle from last season where you had Stetson Bennett, who is literally a hobbit. I mean, he's a failed extra on The Hobbit as far as being from the Lord of the Rings. They didn't want him on the show because he kind of doesn't look hobbity enough, but he's a fucking hobbit. That was the quarterback for Georgia last year that they put out there to play against Alabama, which, by the way, was the one time that they play them in fucking 7 years. But they want to think that they play in just this awesome, we're in the SEC and this is the most awesome fucking conference ever, even though we play in the East and everybody in our fucking division is hot dog water.
And that's
so stop with that shit, man.
The guy that called in, he said, when you have to play Nick Saban, I was like, but you don't.
Yeah, you don't.
You really
Then
don't.
the next thing that comes out of his mouth is, well, Clemson has to play an ACC schedule. And I'm like, Georgia's out of conference schedule is stupid. And I tell you what, I will put Clemson in the East every year. They win the East every fucking year. I'll write it down, take a picture. I don't give a shit.
More often than not.
Let's answer the call here from the 803. What's up? Welcome in to CSF Late Nights. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. What's going on, man?
This is Charlie. You know who Charlie is.
I know. I want to make sure. Charlie, how you doing, brother?
You on Facebook for years.
Well, thank you for that. Yeah, buddy, the old comrade. He retired.
Where is he at these days?
He's retired. He had to quit the show, man. He was retired, man. He wanted to do more baseball stuff, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was trying to get the whole StreamYard going live with you guys.
Yeah.
I figured it out. But you're right. The last thing I saw, you talking about Kirby Smart?
Yeah.
Georgia has done less with more for 20 years.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. They've had a top 10 recruiting class for 20 years. Going back to Ray Goff, whoever's in the coach there. They can pick and choose what they want from the state of Georgia. And they've won how many?
They've got
SEC championships?
I got to look up that stat, but the one stat that's there is that I think since 1990, or when they started doing the recruiting rankings, Georgia has been consistently in the top 10 or better. And look at the guys that have gone through there. I mean, in addition to the running backs with Todd Gurley and all those guys, I mean, they've had some great defensive backs. They've had great quarterbacks that have gone through there. And they're just a shit show. I mean, and I wish there was some better way to explain it than that. But if I'm a Georgia fan and I've got all this fucking talent, I don't know. And the money that they've putting
got less return on investment than any college program ever. To be quite honest with you, I mean, if I'm seeing those classes every year, I'm like, fuck yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, I agree on that, but I tell you what, if you put Eli Drinkowitz from Mizzou, who took that Mizzou team that I did the math on this, and I think that they averaged out in the past 5 seasons at like number 37, 39, somewhere along those lines. That's the talent that he had at Mizzou with Barry Odom coaching up there, who was an absolute fucking idiot. They went up there and they won 7 or 8 games this year. If you put him in Georgia's system there with the talent that Georgia had, Georgia would win national titles on the reg. Okay? Because he's actually a good coach. But Kirby Smart, he stands on the damn sideline with that ladies' golf visor. And I'm not ripping ladies. I'm just saying when you're a guy and you wear a ladies' golf visor, I automatically think that you're wearing a thong and shave your hoo-ha. That's just the mentality that I have with this guy. And he stands there and he just looks like he's just this, I'm just this wonderful coach. And you're really not. You're fucking terrible. Terrible, man.
You know what's funny is they hired Muschamp as a defensive analyst.
Yeah.
And it's like you got 2 first-round draft picks in the defensive backfield this year, and y'all couldn't give up less than 500 yards a game. Like,
But my favorite thing with that was when they hired him. When they hired him, this is a great story. When they hired him, they asked Smart what Muschamp's role was going to be with the program, and he goes, "Well, he's going to analyze us." That was a quote. He's going to analyze us. Are you fucking kidding me? This guy's been a 2-time failure in the SEC. He put the Florida offense into the Stone Ages. I mean, they were so inept when he left there. It was just terrible. And I know people are like, well, they went to the SEC championship. Yeah, at the expense of Georgia, which, by the way, is a shithole. But they had no offense. It took them like 2 years to get out of it. And it's like, and then, of course, he's at South Carolina, and they're going to have the Muschamp stench forever. But, hey, let's bring this guy in to evaluate us as coaches. Are you out of your goddamn mind?
The reason why I don't understand that hire is because Kirby Smart is a defensive coach. What do you need to have a defensive analyst that couldn't get it done in 2 other jobs? Like, I understand that Will Muschamp was good as a DC when he was at other programs, but as a head coach, he failed. And if you hired him to analyze your program, you did so to let you know that you're not doing the same things that he was doing, I assume.
Someone online says, let me answer this question online here. This is actually a good question. Is Saban Meyer or Dabo moving to coach UGA? I'm confused as to whom you believe UGA can realistically hire that can do better. How about Eli Drinkowitz at Mizzou? I'll start with him. I mean, do we need to keep going? Tony Elliott at Clemson. I'll start with him. I mean, we can go up and down the list, brother. There are several coaches out there that could do a hell of a lot more with the talent that they have there.
I like PJ Fleck.
I'll be honest with you.
PJ Fleck.
The head coach at Georgia, Smart, and Muschamp are the same. They're 1A, 1B. It's just that he has more talent at Georgia to work with.
Preach on, brother.
Quite honest with you.
You're exactly right, and that's just the reality of it.
Here's where I'm at.
He has more talent than Georgia to hide the flaws. To be quite honest with you.
True. What you got, Dave?
And then he brought his brother along to, I don't think that shit's gonna work out.
I don't think so either.
They got 2 top recruits in this past week, so. I mean, Georgia recruits. They've always recruited. It's just what are you going to do with them when you get them there? I mean,
point.
Spurrier used to joke about, love playing in the first 2 games of the year because half the damn team was on suspension.
Or arrested, yeah.
Yeah.
So the whole Georgia thing,
When y'all play them this year, Clemson plays them, shit, you probably have 4 or 5 starters out.
They probably will. I mean, it's not like he's coming there and been a beacon of hope. I mean, even when they had a coach that was a guy that was more, had really great morals than Mark Richt.
The big Christian guy still had people.
They still had, drug deals and everything else. So all those guys, hold on, somebody. I don't know who this is over here on Facebook, and I don't know what your name is because it just tells me Facebook user. So all those guys you believe can take down Dynasty Saban. I'm saying they'll do better than Kirby Smart did. They're not going to get their dick kicked in by Texas. They're not going to lose they're not going to lose at home as a 20-point favorite to South Carolina. I don't think there's anybody that can consistently take down Nick Saban. Okay. The only coach that's really had any success against him in the past 5 years is Dabo Swinney. And Dabo Swinney's not going to Georgia. Right. They don't have indoor plumbing there. He ain't going there.
No, why the fuck would Dabo go to Georgia? The only place Dabo would ever leave is to go to Alabama. And I don't even think he would go there. Why would he?
There's no indoor plumbing there either. He says it's Scotty Dog. Oh, it's Scotty Dog. Oh, it's Scott. Oh. Yeah, well, I'm just saying, I'll take all those guys over. I mean, Mac Brown, not that he would go to Georgia, but Mac Brown, if he had that talent, would win there. Yeah, so just thinking that Georgia's
there's
like
a lot
this,
of coaches could win with that talent.
Mac Brown's improving.
Yeah.
Muschamp would fuck that shit up. He would go 5 and 6 with that talent.
So
might go 5 and 6.
If we rewound time just a little bit, let's say
Sure.
hypothetically, Will Muschamp is still the coach at South Carolina, Kirby Smart's over at Georgia. If you swap them, which program would fare better? And my answer would be,
well, you know, neither. Might be right.
Honestly, I think Kirby Smart's a better coach than Will Muschamp.
Well,
maybe
it's not really
I
saying
think they're 1A and 1B, but
My-
if I
my
had to
dog's
pick
a better
one, I would
coach.
pick.
No,
I think they both suck.
I think they both do suck. Look, you know, a lot of people, you know, you're Charlie, you're in the States, so you kind of know this. The Kirby Smart had kind of a handshake deal with Ray Tanner to be the head coach for South Carolina, but he told him if the Georgia job opens up, I have to take it, because that was like, you know, Kirby Smart was one of their top choices. And then they had to go, and Gamecock fans will dispute this, but this is the absolute truth. Will Muschamp was their 5th choice. They wanted Tom Herman. Tom Herman told them to get fucked.
He was our number 1.
Right. Then they had Kirby Smart was in the mix. And there were several other there was 2 others that were like, yeah, no.
The guy who's at Virginia Tech.
Justin Fuente. Yes, he was also there. They also interviewed Lincoln Riley. They could have had Lincoln fucking Riley.
That's who they should have hired.
Well, but they didn't want him because he was too young.
He's never been a head coach.
Yep,
Like,
that's exactly right.
Fucking A, man.
That's
who they should have hired right there.
Yeah, but they went with Muschamp because they thought, oh, well, this guy's a proven guy. Okay.
Proven to take your money and get no results for it. I mean, I'll be honest with you, he's like the modern day Robin Hood. He just
another name.
You know what I mean? Look at the money Florida paid him, we paid him, and he had no results. Zero results. I mean,
0 results, man. Hey, buddy, I appreciate you calling the show, man. You're always welcome. We this is kind of an impromptu show, but we do this show on Wednesday night at 11 o'clock. So if you're awake, you're always welcome to join us, man.
hey, let me ask you one other thing.
Sure.
About them Gamecocks and number 5 Florida in baseball.
You know what? You got to give props to South Carolina for that. But hey, man, that's a big series win. Anytime you can sweep a top 5 team, that's a big deal. And we try to be honest on this show. That's a hell of a series win there for the Gamecocks to sweep 3 from Florida. I mean, even the LSU fans are happy about that shit. Florida lost 3 in a row.
Hey,
so fuck them.
Let me tell you something about Vanderbilt, though. Vanderbilt baseball, I'm going to tell you right now, they're the shoe-in to win the national championship. Their Friday and Saturday night starter are 1A, 1B to be the number 1 overall pick in the Major League Baseball draft. That lighter guy who picks a no-hitter against us, he did the same thing this weekend against whoever they played. I saw a stat today that he's pitched like 18 innings with 0 hits and like 28 strikeouts. That guy's unbelievable.
He's pretty freaking special. You're right about that.
Yeah, and then our radio guys like, and Tommy, whatever his name is, he's like, look, I've been doing this a long time. He said, I have never seen a team that had 2 guys as their starters Friday and Saturday night who were competing to be the number 1 overall pick in the Major League Baseball draft. I mean, that's crazy, dude. I mean,
he's
and they got a center fielder who can cover the whole. Huh?
Leiter's outstanding. You're right about that. He's a heck of a guy to go out there. Really good.
And you know, his daddy was in His daddy's Al Leiter. He was in the major leagues.
Oh yeah. I mean, they're Vanderbilt's special, man. I mean, you know, to say that they're not is silly. They're a really good program.
Hey, guess where their head coach came from?
Clemson.
Yep, he's from Clemson.
Exactly. Thanks
for
rubbing that.
Probably be y'all's head coach right now.
I was liking you a lot. You made that shit ass statement and kick me in the cunt before you leave, brother.
No, I'm just saying, dude. Like y'all could have had him.
Yeah, I like Coach
Monty.
Lee.
No, hey, look, I like Monty. Monty's a great guy. I coached my kids baseball, and we went to state 2 years ago before COVID. And Monty spoke at Dixie Youth, and great guy. We had a picture made with him. I'm a Gamecock fan. Great guy, great coach. I mean, he's going to do well there. I mean, y'all are young this year, and I'm telling you what, that guy at Vanderbilt, what's his name? I don't even know his damn name, but he came from Clemson, and I don't know, man, that guy, he gets kids who should be going straight from high school to the pros.
Yeah,
to come to Vanderbilt. But you know what I heard?
A Vanderbilt education is pretty good, so I don't know.
Yeah, but let me tell you this. Did you realize from the beginning of time that baseball players do not get full scholarships? They get partial scholarships. Some of them only get their books paid for.
Yeah, they only have 11 scholarships per team, so yeah, something like that.
No, yeah, baseball, they don't get, like football, you get a full scholarship.
Yeah.
Baseball doesn't get that. You might get a quarter scholarship, half scholarship, or you might only get your books paid for.
Yeah.
At Vanderbilt, you get a full scholarship.
And that's because they're a private university and they can afford to do that. So yeah,
Exactly.
that's a story for another time. But you're right about the Vanderbilt. They are very special, sir. So yeah, you're right about that.
All right, buddy.
Appreciate
Y'all
you, man.
Have a good night, man.
Thanks a lot, Charlie. Have a great evening, sir. Nice to have a new caller in here on CSF Late Nights. Gentleman that has been following me on Facebook with some of the stuff I've been doing for a while, so we appreciate that. And it was Corbin is the coach up there. But you know what I don't like about Vanderbilt? I don't know if we talked about this the other night or not. They got the whole Vandy Boys stuff. Didn't we talk about that? It sounds like a stag film. It's like you go to that to that's
you need to
fucking
respect yourself, Vanderbilt. Don't call yourself.
Don't call yourself the Vandy. Just be the Commodores.
Right.
That sounds cool. You're the Commodores. It's like you're better than everybody else. No, we're the hashtag Vandy Boys. Sounds like a bad gay film. I don't rip gay films, but
if I was that guy competing to be the #1 overall pick in the Major League Baseball draft, and I saw that staring at me from while I'm on the mound, I'd be like,
I want to be one of the Vandy Boys.
Get rid of that. I don't want to look at Vandy Boys every time I'm trying to throw a strike. It's distracting.
Yeah. Fuck all that, man. That's stupid.
I did think of another head coach for football, and
Georgia.
That I'm in the state. Kirk Ferentz.
Kirk Ferentz would fucking dominate there. You're right about that. I mean, it's not even close. I mean, it's like to say that Kirby Smart's not an absolute. I mean, he's a failure. He's a failure, man.
And we're not saying that these people will beat Nick Saban year in and year out. What we're saying is
they're not going to lose to South Carolina. They're not going to lose to Texas.
These are guys that have gone on runs with way lesser talent than what Kirby Smart has. They've done more with less.
I'm going to say this, and this may piss off LSU fans and may piss off Clemson fans too. But Georgia's had more talent than both of those universities in the past 5 seasons, but both of those universities won national titles with less talent. And that is not up for debate.
Better coaching.
It's not even up. Yeah, it's horrible coaching. It's horrible coaching. I mean, the LSU team that beat the shit out of Clemson a couple of years ago had some great players on it. But you know what? As far as the recruiting classes, they weren't even close to Georgia's.
Nope.
On paper, Georgia was better, and it wasn't even close. Now, LSU beat the fuck out of them. Don't get me wrong on that. And that requires a lot of, doing what you're supposed to do and all that and coaching them up and developing them. I'm all about that. But to sit here and say, that Kirby Smart, and people get upset when I bash Kirby Smart, man, get out of here with that nonsense. Try harder. Want more for your program, sir. That's all I'm saying. What's that?
Don't settle.
Yeah, don't settle. There's no sense in settling. You don't have to settle.
Let's compare what Kirby Smart's situation is to what happened over at Nebraska with Bo Pelini. Bo Pelini was winning 9 games a year at a program that hadn't done shit since Tommy was winning national championships back in the early 90s, mid 90s, right?
Yeah.
So, and here's the thing about coaching at Nebraska. It's not an easy sell because it's Nebraska. There's not a lot going on there. Okay? There's just not. I've lived in the state for a little bit. There's not a lot going on. It's cold as shit. It smells like cow shit everywhere. It's not a pleasant.
I've driven through, and every time I drove through, I didn't stop because fuck that state. I ain't stopped in that shithole.
It is not an easy sell for a head coach to go to Lincoln. They got Bo Pelini. The guy won 9 games a season. And there are programs in this country that have football programs that do not win 9 games a season and wish they could win 9 games a season. And they got rid of him because he wasn't good with the media. And that was why. And then they brought in the guy from Oregon State who did even worse. And then they fired him. And then they got in Scott Frost. And they haven't fired him yet, but it's coming at some point. But
I wonder who's going to be back first. And I'm serious about this. Is it going to be Nebraska? Is it going to be Tennessee or Texas? It's one of those 3. Which one's going to be Texas, quote unquote back for? I would go with Texas because as long as Sarkisian doesn't start drinking again, they're going to be. And I know that sounds like I'm bashing him, but I mean he's had to battle those demons, and it's fair for me to say that he has to keep his head on straight and be the kind of coach that he's capable of. As long as he doesn't have those demons, then I think he'll bring Texas back from the brink because money's not an issue at Texas. They don't give a shit. They'll just print more. They don't give a fuck. Print more. They don't put money in McDonald's bags. So, I think Texas is probably the closest. I like them over Tennessee too. I think Tennessee is going to be a shit for a while.
It's going to be a long time before you see Tennessee come back. After Philip Fulmer was done there, they haven't had a legit hire since.
Well, Lane Kiffin was pretty good.
But what did he make it? I don't even think he made it a season.
I think he finished the season, didn't he? I think they went 8-4. I don't remember. You're right though. I mean, but they hire and fire up there. It's like, ugh.
I mean, I remember the dude that wore the plaid pants, the orange pants.
Oh, fuck him! I don't even ever mention his name.
Orange pants. And,
that's a great quote here. That's a very good point. I don't know who's saying this stuff, but how does Texas have all that money and just suck? I mean, Texas to me is like a prom queen that's hot as fuck, but her vagina smells like tuna cans and like sandpaper mixed together.
Like Rose McGowan.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what it is. I mean, imagine being that having that much money and you could be that hot, but you suck so much.
Rose McGowan was legit beautiful.
Yeah.
And apparently so weird and nuts that not even Marilyn Manson wanted to do her. That's sad.
I feel the same way about Jennifer Aniston and Taylor Swift. I think that there's something wrong with those two because Jennifer Aniston's probably one of the most beautiful women on the planet. She's like fucking 50, 60. Yeah. But I mean, I'm just saying she's had all these guys and it's like all of them ended up leaving her. And I'm like, either A, she bitches eternally, or B, her vagina smells like a fucking tuna factory that's on AIDS. And the same thing, I feel the same way with what's her name with Taylor Swift. She's got to be the biggest cunt in the world. It's just anyway. I mean, she does. She absolutely does. It's like, because like when she was doing some of her stuff, she was just like when she was doing her country stuff, she was just a beautiful woman, and she could sing and do all this stuff. And then it's like, but it's like everybody, like Ed Sheeran, who is asexual in my opinion. I'm dead serious. Ed, like she was dating Ed Sheeran, and Ed Sheeran's like, I gotta get the fuck away from this hoe. So I mean, that actually happened. So I don't know. It's amazing.
I don't look at Ed Sheeran and think that's an attractive guy that can get an attractive woman.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's like
so he can absolutely get an attractive woman.
No, but like he was dating her at the time when he wasn't like like as well established as he is now. He was just a guy that ran around picking his guitar and singing and shit. And then, he was dating Taylor Swift, and then all of a sudden they end up like not together. Facebook user says, so Texas just has a smelly vagina. No, they are a smelly vagina. They don't have a smelly vagina. They are. That's all. So we give you different ways to look at things here on CSF Late Nights.
Yes. It's
That's what you take away from the show.
Hiring a coach for Texas is like taking home the prostitute. You know that if you enjoy going down, you're going to have to put the pin on the nose, and you just gonna have to grin and bear it. That's what
Suck
it is.
it up and deal with it. Basically, what it is. Suck it up and deal with it. That's some funny shit.
But just make a good hire. Sarkisian on paper is a good hire because the problem has been the offense, not the defense, in my opinion, the offense. So you brought in Steve Sarkisian, who has a dynamic offense, and he's going to help a guy like Sam Ehlinger out. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how Texas goes.
They're way closer than UT, and they're way closer than Nebraska. Being in Nebraska for the time that I was there, it's amazing how relevant Nebraska fans still think they are. I mean, nobody cares about it. Sorry, your running glory is
Tommy Frazier is fucking 40. Put that out there. That's all you need to know about that. By the way, one other note, and I posted this on my Fox Sports Radio blog. Appreciate the folks that read that from here. I get comments from some of the CSF folks on some of the stuff I post. I got two things we'll go over real quick before we get out of here, Dave. Sports and sex talk. We didn't talk about sex. We were talking about, stinky ass vaginas. Anyway, Trevor Lawrence said that's an analogy. Yeah. We weren't talking about, we weren't talking about that. But no, the Trevor Lawrence has said, hey, I'm not going to the NFL draft in up there in Cleveland. And hey, with that, if he doesn't want to go, he doesn't have to go. He says he wants to watch it at Clemson. He's catching some backsplash from people, but it's not like you're fucking under contract. You have to go.
You don't. It's a
you
voluntary thing. And all it is a dog and pony show so that Roger Goodell, who everybody hates anyway, can get a picture shaking your hand while you hold up your new jersey and you're wearing your new hat. Who gives a shit?
Real talk right now. I'm not much of a fighter.
On the table and grab the one of the team that picked you.
Yeah. Real talk on this. I'm not much of a fighter, but I can knock Roger Goodell out. I'll bet my house on that. If Roger Goodell walked in here right now, I would knock his punk ass out.
I fucking hate that.
Just saying. Fuck that guy. But Trevor, I also think, who the fuck wants to go to Cleveland in April? Raise your hand. Fucking nobody.
I'm in March and the beginning of April, and I don't want to be here. Not that
I'm not going to Cleveland for shit.
It's just
I don't want to go there because they have the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame there, and they've got people in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame that are not fucking rock and roll people.
Right.
The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is a shithole. Just saying.
That reminds me of a meme or game that I just saw on Facebook where there's 30 pop artists in this picture. Take turns naming one. And it's like Alice in Chains, Smashing Pumpkins, all these rock bands. I was like, these are not pop artists. These are rock bands.
In fucking bands, stupid. In your fucking bands. And it's like, so the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is there. People talk about that's one of the biggest tourist attractions in the Midwest. I'd rather drink water from the Hudson in New York than go to the fucking Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So there's that. So anyway, at least you and I agree on that. And we're not talking politics here, but there's a group of people that are upset with the new Georgia election laws, and they want the Masters moved out of Augusta. And to me, here's my whole thing on that.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. Let's take the whole thing of we've got, whatever issue it is that you're upset about. And I'm not getting into that issue. But someone forgot to tell these dumb fuck that Augusta is a fucking private club. They can do whatever the fuck they want to do. It's a private club. They don't have, if you want to lean on the PGA to not make it a major, then that's fine. Guess what? They're still going to have the tournament there, and the golfers that play in it are still going to look at it like it's a major. They don't give a shit. They're still going to play the tournament. They're still going to do whatever the hell they want to do. And guess what? If you boycott your sponsors, they're going to look at you and do this. Well, we'll just have the Masters without sponsors. Thanks for playing, ladies and gentlemen.
We'll have the Masters without fans.
They don't give a shit.
They're still going to.
They're going to have their tournament the same way with the $1.95 egg salad sandwiches and all that like they normally do. It's not going to change anything.
The thing is, even if you were able to successfully lobby the PGA to take away that major from Augusta National,
right?
Augusta's still going to have the tournament, and they're still going to trot out that green jacket to the winner.
And you know what? CBS or CBS and ESPN will still broadcast it. Yep. They don't give a shit. You know why? Because people like the prestige of it. Mm-hmm. Just saying. That's just the way that it is. Sorry. I mean, and I know people are like, and I've had people get in my DMs about this tonight. You don't seem to understand and I'm like, and I stopped them. It's not about the law. Okay. I don't even have to give you my politics on it. My politics don't matter in this.
Nope.
Okay. I believe in our country. And if you build something, then it's yours and nobody can fuck with it. And they built the Augusta National Golf Club. It's theirs. They can do whatever the fuck they want to with it. Now, you as a person, you don't have to support it. If it bothers you, you can say, you know what? I'm not going to watch the Masters. You can use your social media platform to say, you know what? Screw the Masters. And that's on you. You can do that. That's your right. But the reality is that it's their right to have their tournament and to try to say, oh, well, you should move this because of some Georgia law. Man, that's just stupid. That's ignorant on so many levels that I mean, wow. I mean, I don't even know. We're at a point now where stupidity is just at such a high level. You know, it's just ridiculous. And once again, and something else too, the way to get things changed in society is to not go over the top and be doing things like this. Hey, we want the Masters move, or we want to kneel during the national anthem. If you do that, you're just an asshole. If you kneel during the national anthem, you have a right to do that, but you're a dickhead. And I'm going to think about anything that you're kneeling to try to bring awareness to your message. I automatically think that you're a cunt simply because of what you've done before. So I don't, whatever your message you're trying to give me, I'm going to be like, my God, this guy's stupid. You know, and you have a right to kneel for the national, and that's fine too. You have a right to want all that stuff, but I automatically just think you're a fucking idiot. And it's hard for me to wrap my head around it. And people people have said that, well, you're an X person, that X type of person, you haven't had to live this kind of life, and whatever. Just stop, man. It's fucking stupid. I mean, I wish I had something better to say on that front, but I don't know. So, hey, Alabama
solutions is to engage in contention and debate.
Healthy dialogue.
Engage in a conversation.
Yeah, engage in a conversation, and you can feel better about it without having to do stupid shit.
Even if nothing changes, at least you got to say something.
Yeah, you get your message out there.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah, I mean, and if you want to talk about a perfect example of that, Stacey Abrams in Georgia, where she got a bunch of the Democratic people together and turned one of the reddest states in the country into a blue state. So, I mean, it's possible to do that. How'd she do that? She went around and spread her message out there and got people up to vote. I mean, you can use what President Trump did. Hey, people don't care about you, but I do. It's the same thing. So anyway, not to be political, but just fuck out of here with all that nonsense. Oh, we're going to move the Masters.
Not going to move the Masters. The Masters will always be played at Augusta National.
Yeah, and just like it's like Alabama when they're a basketball school. It's not the same thing. It's not going to happen.
Right. It might not be a major anymore, but the Masters will always be played at Augusta National.
Yeah, it's always the same thing. It's going to be they own the trademark.
What's that?
They own the trademark.
Right.
I mean, it's their fucking tournament.
And the top level golf players are still going to attend it.
Right, because everybody wants that green jacket.
Fuck
Everybody does. So, yeah. So there's that. One other thing. Oh, before we get out of here, tomorrow, I know we don't talk NASCAR, but I will have the NASCAR race on tomorrow. You know why? They're racing on dirt.
Really?
Yeah. Did you know that? Yeah. Yeah. Really. In Memphis. Where is it? I don't remember where the fucking track is, but they're racing on dirt tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah. A sprint cup race on dirt.
What?
Yeah. No shit. So it's like part of me wants to watch that because these dumb fucks never driven on fucking dirt at all. They're going to look like a bunch of shitheads tomorrow.
I mean, most of the guys
of that.
came up
in Bristol. There we go. It's in Bristol.
Oh, Bristol?
Yeah, finally something worth a shit in Tennessee. It's at Bristol. Yeah.
But Bristol wasn't a dirt track. That's a high bank short track.
Yeah, but they put dirt on it. They're running in the dirt, brother. I'll watch some of that. That's not that I want people to get hurt, but these dumb fucks aren't out of driving that shit.
I bet Tony Stewart's a little disappointed he retired now. That's what he loves. He loves their track.
Yeah, Tony Stewart did love that stuff. Tony Stewart's like me too. He liked to eat hamburgers too.
Yeah.
He's a big old chunky guy. All these NASCAR guys now, they're like metrosexual mugs. They're all running around in their skinny jeans, drinking skinny lattes and freaking 800 calories a day. I look at that, I'm like, man, shit, I could get 2,000 calories at breakfast if I really wanted to. You motherfuckers eating like damn dirt up there. So anyway, what are they feeding you up there in Iowa? Is it pretty good food or not?
Barbecue every day.
Yeah. Are you through with barbecue?
No, I love barbecue.
They're doing it every day. You get barbecue every day.
Yeah, the catering company that they used is called Smokehouse in Des Moines, and it's a barbecue catering company. So they bring us barbecue chicken. Today was bratwurst and hot dogs. We've had brisket and pulled pork and all kinds of good stuff. It's a phenomenal company.
That's cool. I mean, I remember when I was stationed in New Orleans for a while, we had they contracted out a restaurant. We went there every day, and that was kind of towards the end of it. It was like, well, not towards the end of it, probably like 3 or 4 weeks in. You're like, my God, it's the same shit over and over and over again. But yeah,
we have not eaten. Well, I mean, we've only been here for a week, but we've not eaten the same thing twice yet.
Yeah, they're taking care of you guys up there. Are you still bringing people into Target and all that good stuff?
We went to the mall today.
Oh, you went to the mall today?
Yes.
Are you having any folks that are doing like some part-time loving? Are you seeing that? Because I remember when I went to training, everybody was trying to find somebody to fuck. What was happening?
I have everybody sleeping in open bay, so.
Oh, so there's no fucking here.
If you wanted to sneak around somewhere, I suppose you could, but.
So it's open bay barracks. That's kind of sucky. That's like boot camp stuff, man.
And then I go wake them all up before I go to sleep.
Oh, you did?
Well, everybody goes to sleep at like 10 o'clock, and I don't go in until like 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, and so I got to open the door. All the light from the hallway comes in. And I was like,
you're like this guy. I remember. People want to know why you're up there. David is in the National Guard, and they found out that he can drive a bus, so he's having to drive motherfuckers around.
I was volunteered to be the transportation for a medical.
You know, a Coast Guard story before I leave, because why not? When I went to boot camp, like they put us up at a hotel overnight, like the night before you left or whatever. And there was this girl that we met at dinner, right? And like she comes back to like we all ended up back in my hotel room, and she ends up like having sex with one of the guys that was in our group there. And we get to boot camp, right? And we get to like week 4, and all the women get a pregnancy test, and boom, she's pregnant. Yeah.
Oh, only one?
She was the only. What do you mean? What do you mean the only one?
Was she the only one that popped pregnant?
In our company, yeah.
Okay.
And
I was guessing.
they had to process her out. They processed her right out. I mean, she already went through the probably the worst part of basic training, and because she decided to get some dick before she left, that's what happened.
Stupid.
Anyway, but then the other story that I remember was there was a girl in my company that we had like this couple that met there like in basic training, and they're like having sex in the shower and shit. Like, I'm like, what the fuck? How does this happen? I'm like, oh my God. Somebody caught them, and it was like the last, I think, 2 days of training, and they turned them in for it, but they couldn't prove it. It was like, oh, well, I saw this. I'm like, God, I'm glad I didn't see that, because I don't want to have to go to that shit. I'd have to explain that.
When I joined the military, I was 27, and I went to Air Force boot camp first, and then I did that for 2 years, and then I requested my conditional release, and I joined the Army Guard. But when I went through boot camp, it was our flight, and we had a sister flight. So you had like 60 dudes in my flight, and you had like 60 females in the other flight. And 27-year-old Dave, married, all that stuff, kids, I wasn't there to play fuck games. But all these other kids that are 18, 19 years old, fresh out of high school,
they're trying to fuck holes in walls.
Hormones raging everywhere. So when we had a little bit of freedom, I was like the biggest cock blocker in the flight. Like, if I saw a dude talking to a chick, I'd walk over and I'd be like, oh man, you got like 7 nose hairs hanging out right there. You need to trim those up a little bit next time you're sharing. I just pick out little things and be like, oh yeah, you do have nose hairs.
You do have nose hairs. You should get those taken care of. What a bunch of shit that is. Well, anyway. So we talked about all kind of shit tonight. The gnome's going to wake up tomorrow. He's going to be upset that we didn't have him here with us. He should learn to. I text messaged him. Fuck, you're sleeping. That's your fault, dickhead.
Usually, I'm the exclusion on Sunday night, so I'm excited to make.
The only reason I did it tonight was because of the Alabama fans. They needed to have make sure that they got kicked in their little face a little bit, because they've been mouthy as fuck.
Yeah, they've been mouthy.
Absolute mouthy as fuck.
And goddamn Batman and Super Dave, we didn't know anything about the dribbles. We didn't know anything about that stuff.
I don't know anything about basketball. And I'm like, if you don't shoot the three, you're not going to fucking win. Oh, fuck you. We're better than that. We're fucking team defense. Yeah, okay. Okay. Pretty much the same thing that happened to you against Clemson happened to you with UCLA, and you lost to an 11 seed.
7 of 28.
Yeah, you're 25% from the floor, from 3-point land, and 44% from the line. I bet if I shot 10 free throws, I would hit blindfolded. I bet I'd hit at least 3. You dumb fucks can't do better than 44%. And you do this shit every day. I'm just a fucking idiot that lifts weights all the time. I can stand here and shoot. I bet I can hit 3 out of 10 blindfolded.
I suck at basketball. I was a soccer player and a football player, but yeah. I could probably hit 50%.
Yeah. So what have we learned tonight? We learned that Alabama sucks. They're not a basketball school. Rob could knock out Roger Goodell, and Rob could hit 3 free throws blindfolded.
And Trevor Mark is a fraud.
Yeah, Alabama is a fraud. Alabama's a fraud.
That's a metaphor.
You know what? It's a good thing is that we don't have to see Nate Oates with that fucking plaid jacket on again. Put that shit in the fuck. Get that shit out the fuck up out of here. Look like fucking. That guy annoyed the hell out of me, man. Wearing that plaid jacket like he's the best thing ever. Your team sucks, asshole. Teach your team to shoot free throws, stupid. All right, thank you guys. We'll be back. We're gonna do the show on Wednesday. Hopefully, the gnome will be joining us. Normally, he's the third guy down here. He's the sloppy party bottom.
No, that's me. I'm
okay, yeah, that's right. But normally we get him mixed up there. If you have any questions about the show, please direct them to Jonathan. He handles all questions about the show. Questions about if you want a Hut t-shirt, Jonathan handles that. Pool t-shirts or pool questions, Jonathan handles that. Any questions about this show, Jonathan
If you
handles.
want discussed on the show, you can bring those up to Jonathan Lormond, and he will answer. And he will forward the topics to us, or let you know if we'll even discuss them.
Yeah. Good question. Since Arkansas is still playing, does that mean Oates shouldn't be coach of the year? I don't know who wrote that, but that's the quote of the night right there.
Yes.
Who is that? I don't even know who that is. Let me know who you are before we get out of here. Is that Edwin? That has to be Edwin. It's Edwin. Edwin with the damn winning quote there. Maybe Oates shouldn't be coach of the year since Eric Musselman is he's still playing. Imagine that. All right. Anyway, Jonathan handles all questions about the show. Message him, Jonathan Lormond. Look for him there. If you yell "Gnome" really good, really loud, he'll answer it. He'll answer. He just hears "Gnome" and he's like, "What the fuck? What do you want?" And he gets those little legs running really quick and gets over there to the keyboard, climbs up to his desk, and he's gonna get me.
You might even hear other little Jonathan Lormands in the background singing like tunes and stuff.
Singing tunes. They all sing together. All right. With that, this show's a wrap.